yeah, yeah, yeah. Em đêm nay nói về công việc, mà sân thành cùng đi mình. Yeah, 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 yeah. Em đêm nay nói về công việc, mà sân thành cùng đi mình.
Good day guys, Commando here. Welcome back to Langrisser 3.0 news from the future. So in part 2 of this video, we will be featuring the second new hero from the reincarnation story, Suzette, or Suzette. So right, as you can see, she's a super strength character and she's holding a freaking big, well, I'm gonna call it a crossbow, or I'm almost gonna switch to harpoon cannon. Yep, look at how big this weapon is. Oh my god. Alright, so before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app Monghua Monitan Soyu. So are you guys ready? So first off, we'll be looking at her Talon, and wow, phew, this is definitely much easier compared to Christiane. It is just 3 lines of words. And remember, at the end of the video, I will be showing you guys a summarization of all the new talent and skills for the characters. So watch till the end and stay tuned. Alright, for Talon, I'm gonna call it Heavy Explosion Arrow, or Heavy Arrow Explosion, or Exploding Heavy Arrow. So yep. Okay, maybe go with Exploding Heavy Arrow, so things might change at the end of the presentation, so stay with me guys. Okay, so Talon. So any enemy who are standing on the straight line positions of Suzette, the target will take in increased chance of critical and damage dealt by 15%. Okay, the whole thing we'll be talking about at rank 6. And if Suzette initiate the attack and deal critical strike or damage, it will cause the target and 1 square or tiles around the target enemies to take in and follow up of fixed damage. The fixed damage will be based on 1.5 times the attack of Suzette. And each target can only take a maximum of 1 follow-up of fixed damage. Sorry, let us re-summarize again. So when Suzette is at a position where the target enemy is at a straight line position, meaning just up, down, left, and right directly, somehow you get this contra vibe. So the chance of critting them and damage deal will be increased by 15%. Number 2, if she initiate the attack and do crit, and crit happens, it will cause the target and 1 squares or tiles around the targets enemies within, they'll take a follow-up of a fixed 1 times fixed damage based on the attack of 1.5 times Suzette attack. And number 3, each target can only take a maximum of 1 follow-up of fixed damage. So I gotta say it, it's easy to understand, and it's definitely gonna be good if there is no such item known as bracer or meditation ring, because all those items will cause the characters to avoid taking fixed damage. So I just gotta say it, bracer is coming back again in maybe S8 or S9. So yep, thankfully Suzette's ability and effect is not so hard to translate, and definitely not too long. And alright, for her faction, okay, only 2, one being reincarnation and meteor. Oh, okay, so she gets to enjoy reincarnation and meteor, but kind of little, only 2 factions sadly. Hope more will be released in coming future. Then alright, coming to her job path. Oh, look at the muscle they draw for this chibi characters. Oh my god. She has 6-pack. Gosh. Okay, the initial path will be, well, we're gonna call it Gunner or Gun Striker. So right off the bat, we're gonna have 2 new skills. So the first being, I'm gonna call it Oppression Strike or Oppress Shot. So it's a physical damage skills. Attack a single enemy, deal 1.25 times battle damage. If Suzette is at defensive terrain, she'll do an additional follow-up of 1 times fixed damage, which is based on 1 times her attack. Number 2, it will be quick recharge or quick refill or quick reload. This is something I believe everyone's gonna like and gonna use, because here we go. It's a support skills. Click and use it. After using, cause all skills cooldown to be reduced by 4 turns. And you will cause units chance to crit increase by 30%, and it lasts for 2 turns. So wow, minus 4 CD. This is wow, this is more by 1 turn than Sophia's Rewind. This is very cool. I mean, let's look at it again. So cast the skill, reduce CD, and not only does it just end there, it has an additional effect of giving you guys an increment, a chance to increase dealing critical attack and damage against enemy by 30%, and you last for 2 turns. Not 1 but 2. Okay, this Kami's definitely gonna recommend this to all players if you're gonna get that in future. And hopefully it's gonna just be a 1 cost skills. Yep, I think it'll be good if it's a 1 cost skill. Alright, moving on to the second path. So going to the Gunner Commander path. Okay, Gun Strike Leader. So I'm gonna call it Air Toss Bomb Strike, but at the end we might change or give it a better name to this skill. So I'm just gonna stick to it for now. So active skills, select 1 ally unit and toss these ally units to a target area and do 0.2 times damage to enemies who are around the target ally 3 squares or tiles around them. They will take in this 0.2 times AoE damage. Wow. Okay, and so it's not written here, but so far the information that we have received is that this is kind of like a teleportation that Iris has, so it's only 5 squares or tiles only. So okay, we're gonna re-summarize again. So there's a new skill. Number 1, choose an ally unit. Number 2, toss it to a target location which is around 5 squares or tiles. And number 3, after your target ally has landed on the location, if there are enemies who are 3 squares or tiles beside them, it will do 0.2 times AoE physical damage to them. Oh, okay, this is... Oh, I just think of a good trick right now. So apparently if you have Uriel, characters like Uriel or Ladin who had previously already cast their 2C or 3C skills that will cause enemies to have decrease in movement, not able to guard, you can just toss them right into the enemy pool, and that's gonna give them a hell of time. They will have movement restrictions and they got no choice but to either end turn or only to attack either Ladin or Uriel. So okay, it's gonna push them to their, well, gonna benefit the characters or push them to their limits. I guess it's good or not bad. Okay, first path, third class. So yep, gunner commander or gun commander. So okay, I'm gonna call it skill oppress or skill scare. So it's an old skills press. It's a passive. At the end of a turn, it'll cause all three enemies or 3 squares or tiles around Suzette to have their skill decreased by 20%. It will last for a turn. So it's a skill that Illustrator have. And finally, it's not unique to her. Alright, and okay, the second skill, which again is a new skill, if I'm not wrong, so it's long range snipe. So it's a physical attack, attacks multiple enemy in straight line, deals 0.25 times AoE physical damage. If you hit 2 enemies, the enemy at the furthest will have the damage taken increased by 50%. However, if you hit 3 or more enemies, the enemy at furthest will have the damage increased by 100%. So wow, things just escalate very fast from 0.25 to 50 and to to just maximum 0.5. Yep. I'm gonna from 0.25 to 0. Around 37 to 50. That is crazy. So let's re-summarize again. So it's a AoE skills, attack in a straight line. So I'm gonna presume is 3 by 5 or 3 by 4 at least, or maybe it might based on the name it might be even greater, 3 by 6. So attack in a straight line multiples enemy, number 1. Number 2, it will do 0.25 times AoE damage. Number 2, if this skills hit 2 enemies, the furthest enemies will take in the damage it will take will increase by 50%. Number 3, if enemy hits are 3 or more, the furthest enemy damage taken will be increased by 100%. So wow, this is very cool. And correct me if I'm wrong, based on my understanding that increment by 100% means 0.25 times AoE damage times 2. And then alright, the second path, the great commander path. So apparently it's assassin. Okay, I'm gonna call it assailant or striker. So it's an old skill, backstab. So physical attack a single enemy, ignore guard, deal 1.2 times damage and increase crit chance by 20%. Great commander. Okay, see through. So it's a passive, increase crit by 10%. When dealing damage, 50% chance to cause enemy passive skills to be disabled. It will last for 2 turns. However, when critical happens, the chance of these skills will become 100%. Then second skill again is an old skill, merciless or heartless. So it's a passive, increase crit chance by 20% before going to battle. If crit happen after battle, obtain this effect. All damage received will be reduced by 30% and last for a turn. Okay, not too much for this path. Okay, there's a third path, so it's a sniper path. Okay, again, old skill, thousands arrow or million arrows. So yep, or 10,000 arrow. Okay, physical attack. It's a physical AoE. Deals 0.3 times AoE damage to all enemies in range, effective against flyer, and dispel 1 buff from them. After battle, you can move again for 3 squares or tiles. Okay, a skill from Vana. Alright, finally coming to the 3C skills. Okay, I know this one in Japanese. Karyo Kuzenkai, and means attack on full force or full power. Okay, I'm gonna go with. So again, at the end of the video, when the summarizations come out, there might be some changes because I might try to rename it to something even closer to the name sounds like. So okay, the 3C is a physical damage and its AoE skills. Attacks multiple enemies in range. Deals 0.35 times AoE damage. When enemies end turn, they'll receive a fixed damage based on 20% of their max HP. Whoa. Then at the start of the second turn after this, after enemies end turn, it will cause 0.38 times AoE damage to the target location or target area. So whoa, this is something like a air raid or air strike. So right, I'm gonna re-summarize again, so correct me if I'm wrong. Number 1, AoE skill, attack multiple enemy, deals 0.35 times AoE damage. Number 2, for those enemies who are hit at the end of a turn, they will receive fixed damage, which will take out 20% of their max HP as damage. Number 3, at the start of the second turn, it will the AoE will bombard or deal damage to the area 0.38 times AoE damage. So if enemies are still staying at their target locations, they will need to take a 0.35 times plus 20% fixed damage and an additional of 0.38 AoE damage. So okay, I guess this has something to do with the combo I mentioned. So gonna toss, you might maybe a bit draggy, but well, it's workable, or maybe at least in PvE. So you gotta toss characters like Yuria over or Latin over, and you're gonna break all enemies' movement. Then, or you can also throw Juggler over and let him cast his 3C. Then Liana's gonna do act again, and she will be able to cast a 3C skills to deal multiple explosive AoE damage to enemies. And well, I think we're gonna end the game in like within 2 to 3 turns if everything goes well. I mean 0.35 times plus 20% max HP fixed damage and an additional 0.38 times AoE damage. Oh, this is slightly crazy. I mean, I don't have a stats right now, but if I attack as S and kind of high, things is gonna get quite crazy. So alright, we have come to the end for Suzette on her skills and talent descriptions. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you guys a more proper summarization that I've come up with on the characters, skills and descriptions. Thank you guys, thank you very much for watching my videos and giving me your support. This is coming, signing off. See you guys on the next video. Gonna show you more on new exclusive, new 3Cs animations and SP characters. Okay, remember to watch to the end. Goodbye.